Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. is getting ready to start his professional career in football. In this video, Inside Football will show you unique footage of the young Portuguese's training, what he is focusing on, and reveal the goals Junior has set for himself. Let's get started! Cristiano Jr. plays for the Al-Nassr youth team, but his preparations are not limited to training and playing with the team. Like his father, he works hard on the sidelines. He has a personal trainer and improves various important skills for a football player over time. If we look at the footage of Junior's training, we can identify three main aspects that he is working hard on. The first is balance and coordination. Each of these exercises that you see on the screen now helps to improve these skills in one way or another. Concentrating on such points is not surprising at all, and his father's influence is clearly felt here. CR7 understands that for an attacking player, the ability to stay on your feet and quickly navigate in space is what makes the difference on the football field. In particular, well-developed balance and coordination allow a player to shoot even in the most complicated situations. Given that Cristiano Jr. is also an attacking player, working on these skills will definitely benefit him. The number 2 priority in the youngster's training is explosiveness. The ability to get ahead of the opponent at the start is a bread and butter for a striker. Cristiano Ronaldo is well aware of this, and he has scored more than a dozen goals this way. You can see the explosiveness exercises now on the screen. We'd like to highlight running and send. Running on such a surface is much harder, but such training will provide you with a good starting speed. Another advantage is that it's accessible for everyone. You don't need to have special equipment or a personal trainer for that. React, start, be the first on the ball. If Cristiano Jr. continues to develop these skills, he will have a huge advantage over his peers. And the third key point is strength. It's not about the need to get bigger, it's about having a strong body. For an offensive player, it's important to be not only fast, but also resilient in tackles. Cristiano Ronaldo has become who he is because of his body strength, among other things. This is something he has always been ahead of most wingers, and this is what allowed him to easily switch from the left winger to the centre-forward position over time. There are also interesting exercises that simulate tackles with the opponent in matches. In this way, Cristiano Jr. will feel much more comfortable in real game situations and minimize the loss of the ball, for example, after throw-ins. We should mention that these additional training sessions are not the only ones that the young man puts himself through. He also works with specialists from Apex, a company that provides individual training for football players. Exercises are customized for the player according to his position, and the process is closely monitored by coaches. So, Cristiano Jr. as a winger has a special program designed to improve the qualities required for his position. The 14-year-old's work ethic is impressive. Like this video if you admire the professionalism with which Junior approaches his career at such a young age. Cristiano Ronaldo's eldest son does all this for a reason. In order to achieve your ambitions, this is exactly how you need to work. And the guy has, frankly, quite big ambitions. His goal is to surpass his father. He tells me he will win a Ballon d'Or and that he can win 5. CR7 shared the words of his son. Any journey begins with the first step. Now the young man's words may be taken as a joke. After all, his father won the Champions League, the Ballon d'Or, and the Golden Boot multiple times. Add to that a Euro victory, 7 league titles in different countries, and countless goal-scoring records. But if you don't dream big, you're unlikely to reach the top. Cristiano Jr. has set himself a goal and is already on his way. Of course, these paths will be divided into certain milestones, which we will now share with you. His first big goal is to get into the Portuguese U15 national team. In teenage days, every year of difference makes a huge difference because the body grows and develops very quickly. Cristiano has just turned 14, and competing with 15-year-olds is not an easy task. However, he has at least 1 year to achieve his goal. The determination with which the boy works is impressive, and we will not be surprised if he will get his call-up at the age of 14. The second milestone is to get into the Al-Nassr first team and make his debut in senior football. Given Cristiano Ronaldo's statement about his plans to play for at least 2 more seasons to make it to the 2026 World Cup, we can assume that the Portuguese's family will remain in Saudi Arabia for the time being. It'd be an incredible achievement for Junior to make his debut before the end of the 2025-26 season. This would be a historic occasion, as it would allow father and son to play together. Just imagine how legendary that would be! In fact, this is quite likely to happen. The boy will be 15 years old at the time, and we already know quite a few examples of players making their debut at 15. The most striking is, of course, Lamine Yamal. And if Yamal made his debut for Barcelona, then it should be easier to make a debut for Al-Nassr at such an age. In addition, let's be honest, the Saudis will want to see such a historic event on their land and will do everything possible to facilitate the debut of the son so that he plays alongside his father. This looks like a cheat code, so let's expand Junior's tasks. Before turning 16, to play for the Al-Nassr first team in a match in which his father will not participate. This will mean that the young man is on the pitch because the coach believes he is useful, not because media want epic photos. Task number 3 is both the most difficult and the most exciting: to start a proper playing career. In the summer of 2026, Junior will turn 16, and the 2026-27 season will likely be his first full season in senior football. This raises the question, where will his career begin? Obviously, the boy will not stay in Al-Nassr after his father's career ends. Ronaldo Jr. is currently building his dream home in his native Portugal and plans to live there in the future. It would be logical to assume that Cristiano Jr. will spend his first seasons in Portugal. Like his father, he could play for Sporting, or he could choose their bitter enemy Benfica to have an original path. However, looking at Lamine Yamal, who at 16 is already an important player in one of the biggest clubs in the world, Cristiano Jr. may want to go straight to a top club. There is one important point that the boy should take into account. All his life, he has been traveling after his father, playing for the academies of the respective clubs. Given the ambitions of the star son, he needs to think about breaking out of the family nest. Independence is something Junior needs to learn. It's not essential to start playing for Real Madrid. There are many great clubs that will provide a guy with a chance to fight for trophies and play in the Champions League. For example, Borussia Dortmund or Ajax. We mention these two teams because here, Junior will have the least pressure and the best conditions for development. He is already doomed to constant comparisons with his father, and it can be risky to start immediately at a top club like Real Madrid or Man City. The level of pressure on a 16-year-old's shoulders in this case is hard to imagine. But say at Ajax, he will get a good education, a more relaxed debut, and at the same time he will play at the highest level in European competitions. Of course, everything will depend on the proposals that Cristiano Jr. will have, but for some reason it seems that there will be no problems with them. Therefore, this plan for the Portuguese young man for 3 years looks realistic. The youth national team, his debut in the pros, and the first full season in Europe. After that, it'll be possible to think about big victories in the Champions League, winning the Ballon d'Or, and various records. The path to surpass the legendary father has begun, and it'll be incredibly interesting to follow. Friends, please write in the comments whether you believe that Cristiano Jr. will become an outstanding footballer and in which European club you think he should start his career. It was Inside Football. We watch football from a different angle. Have a nice one, and see you in a bit.